Moshe goes into the palace to warn Pharaoh, Paro, about the 8th plague, locusts. And when he's done the warning, we're told that Moshe turned and then he left. The Torah never uses an unnecessary word. So why do we have to be told that Moshe turned and then he left? There are different explanations. Some say that he was turning meaningfully towards Paro's ministers to sort of urge them to speak to him before it's too late. And it worked, because right after he left, they did speak to Paro and they said, let them go already, enough, and these plagues. One commentator says, I can tell you with certainty what it doesn't mean. It does not mean that Moshe turned on his heels and walked out disrespectfully. How do I know that? Because God had previously told Moshe, do not act disrespectfully to Paro. Show him respect. Which begs the question, why did Moshe have to show respect to that monster, Paro, who was brutally enslaving the Jews and killing many of them? The answer, according to this commentator, is that Paro was the king, which means that God had allowed him to take that throne. He was, in a sense, God's representative. God had told Abraham years before, your descendants are going to be slaves. And so Paro was carrying out that decree. Yes, he was going overboard with it, but God was the one who allowed him to take that throne. So by showing respect to Paro, Moshe was, in a sense, showing respect to God. So you'll think that's a one-off because of that specific decree that the Jews had to be enslaved, but it's not. Listen to this story. I overheard a conversation not long ago. Two people were talking, and one of them said something derogatory about the sitting president of the United States of America. I honestly don't remember whether it was the current one or the prior one. So whichever one you don't like, assume it was that one. There happened to be a rabbi there, and so he stepped in, interrupted them, and said, excuse me, please don't ever speak about the president in that fashion. And the guy doubled down. He said, why not? He is, and repeated the derogatory phrase. And the rabbi said, excuse me, I'm begging you, don't speak about the president of the United States in that fashion. The guy said, why not? He said, because he's the most powerful person in the world. He's the leader of the free world, and nobody gains that position without God's imprimatur. The gravity of that position demands respect. So whether you like the president or dislike the president, be careful. You have to show respect. All hail the chief.